it for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche And after 22 years, Raymond Mark!
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network. And again, live from the Heart Bar in downtown Belfast. We are happy to be
wearing
again.
a short sleeve shirt?
Because I was running around like a madman in here setting up, sweating, Pierre.
No. I'm just going to be honest to our viewers and listeners. He froze walking to the arena today.
I did.
I showed up here to meet you, and you have a short sleeve shirt. What
I know.
Are you doing?
Because I'm a weirdo. Because then I come in and they get the heat blasting and I get too
You're
hot.
not weird. I'm looking at him like, what is he doing?
Plus, you know what? I'm wearing this shirt for my new friend. Yes, Mr. Robert Fitzpatrick, who gave me the music tour of Belfast after the podcast last night.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but Jimmy, why'd you take the guitar out of his office?
Which one?
I know.
He only had about 12.
Music is unbelievable here. And, I'm more of a hockey person than a music person. But when you walk into Robert's office, it's overwhelming. Yeah. It's like being at the Music Hall of Fame.
And, of course, this is Robert Fitzpatrick, the owner of the Belfast Giants, who has been a gracious host, as well as one of the guests we'll be bringing on shortly, the GM, Steve Thornton. We also joined here by Notre Dame associate coach, Brock Sheahan. Yes.
From Lethbridge, Alberta.
Yes.
Not St. Catharines, Ontario.
No, not like the former NHLer.
Riley Sheahan.
But yes, I got a great tour, and it was funny. We were walking over that beautiful walking bridge right by the arena there. It goes over the river. Yeah. And he says, so Jimmy, what are some of your favorite bands? And one of the bands I rifled off was Thin Lizzy. And he stopped in his track and he just looked at me and goes, who tipped you off? And I said, what are you talking about? He goes, it was Steve Thornton, wasn't it? And I said, nobody tipped me off. He goes, Jimmy, wait till you see what I have in store for you. And then he brings me in, as you said, we go into his office and he's got about 4 different rooms with all his memorabilia, but he has a frame of every Thin Lizzy album in chronological order, signed in his, it's like one of his most prized possessions.
So now I'm going to illustrate how silly I am. When Jimmy told me this, we were walking over and I was like, who are they? And then he started telling me one of the songs, and I'm like, okay.
The boys are back in town.
Now I kind of know, but I didn't know who they were. That's just not what I do.
But what we did both learn, and even though you're not as big a music fan as me, Pierre, you were amazed, you'd have to admit, as to how many amazing acts have gone into the SSE Arena here
blown away.
In Belfast.
Like, seriously, when you walk through the hallway and Steve Thornton's going to come on and what Robert's done in their team, all the different
CDs
acts that have been here in the CDs.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not paying attention to that, if you're a visiting player or a home team player, you walk through that hallway, it's pretty impressive.
It is.
It's
really.
Like, I'm thinking, Taylor Swift was here.
Lionel
Richie was here.
Elton John
was here. Like, you start, Bublé. Michael Bublé. Michael, if you're watching, you remember one night in Hoboken, New Jersey. We had a good time.
Was it Christmas time?
It was U.S. Thanksgiving.
Right now. And again,
I played in a golf event at Plainfield Country Club, and it started snowing. And I was with our producer, Scotty Lennox, and he came back to the W Hotel in Hoboken, New Jersey with me. Walked in the bar, and this guy comes up, pats me on the back, and it was Michael Bublé.
There you go.
I love watching TSN. I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan. And Michael and I had a really good night together, talking hockey and football, and this is
why I can't get the green light. I can't wait to get the green light to write your book.
No green light for you.
We can make fictional names, but the stories must be told.
Can you ask me a hockey question?
I can ask you a hockey question right now. First of all, is this not one of your favorite nights of the hockey season, given that there's always 15 to 16 games on this night?
No, I love this night. I'll be watching as soon as we're done here. I'm going to go back
Thanksgiving
to my room,
Eve.
getting ready. Obviously, there's a time differential. I'll be on with the great Mitch Melnick in Montreal at 10:30
our time,
Ireland time, 5:30 Montreal.
And Mitch's voice sounds a lot better tonight. If you're watching, you were fresh off a long day there.
Oh, the first day was long. But anyways, getting to it, I think tonight's a great night.
It is.
It's a great night for hockey. If you're a fan of high school football in the United States, it's a huge night. Going into tomorrow where a lot of huge games are. There was a great game at Fenway Park yesterday between Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not. And our good friend Sam Kennedy, who runs Fenway Sports Entertainment, he put that together. So, Sam, shout out to you.
Yeah, great.
Sam used to be my intern when I was the coach at Oxford Whalers.
Again, I didn't know that. That's amazing. I used to interview Sam on the radio once a week when I was working at ESPN New Hampshire.
We didn't have cell phones then. And I'll never forget, we were on a West Coast trip and my phone rings in my hotel room and it's Sam. And I go, "Hi, Sam, what's up?" I didn't know it was Sam, but I figured it was somebody. Yeah. And he goes, "Hi, Coach, it's Sam Kennedy." "Hey, Sam, how you doing?" And he goes, "You need anything done?" I said, "No, I want you to go back to Trinity where he went to college. I want you to relax. I want you to enjoy yourself." "Coach, I got to do something." I said, "No, you don't need to do anything."
He does a lot now.
No, but he did a lot then too.
Oh my gosh.
He was always a type A.
He's a multitasker, like the definition.
Yes,
definition of that.
100%.
All right, before we bring on our first guest here, because we want to make sure we get everyone in today, Pierre, as we said, plenty of games today. And some really, I mean, every game obviously is important for every team, but some really important games for some teams right now that, you know, they've made it to American Thanksgiving, kind of teetering. And some teams have made changes, like the Boston Bruins, who will be on Long Island to play the Islanders after a loss last night against Vancouver. You got other teams. I mean, you look around right now, the Montreal Canadiens are in Columbus after a loss at home last night. And there's teams, I think, that are in that stretch now that are going to have to, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, really figure out the direction they're going in and where their season is going. I mean, this is, if you're a GM for one of those teams, this is a tough time because you really have, like, as we said a couple shows ago, you have to start to be honest about the direction of your team.
One of the great things before I came on today, I was talking to Steve Thorton, and you'll have him up here in a second.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying, look, we're at the quarter pole, almost at the quarter pole for some teams, most teams. And I said to him, I said, "You know what your team is. They're either good or they're not good."
Yep.
You know, and you have
to face that.
You got to face it up.
Yep.
And say, "Yep, we're good," or "Nope, we're not good." And if you're good, what's going to put us over the top? You got to be aggressive.
Right.
Establish a market. Don't let the market get established for you.
Be like Jim Rutherford.
And if you're bad,
mm-hmm.
and there are some bad teams.
There are
some bad teams.
And some of them weren't expected to be bad. Some of them we tried to warn, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. We're not going to ruin it for it, but you got to have the courage to do it. What was interesting to me last night, just from last night's games, Jimmy, what blew me away last night was two guys go back to their old teams.
Uh-huh.
Jake DeBrusk goes back to Boston, and he scores.
Yep.
Okay, he scores.
Yep.
Mikhail Sergachev goes back to Montreal, and he scores an overtime winner. Like, think about that for a second. Like, there were only 2 games in the league last night.
And in both games that happened.
Both games that happened.
I know.
That's that's easy for me to say. Statistical anomaly.
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
It's also 2 GMs that are left wondering, as the famous Bob Lobel in Boston used to say, "Why can't we get guys like that?" Oh, you had them.
Yeah, but wait. So the Montreal one was from a previous.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So
the fans are saying that, not Jeff, not Jeff and Kent.
Jeff
that's
and
not
Kent
on them.
Didn't do that.
Yeah,
deal. They didn't do that.
But
deal.
Don Sweeney surely let Jake DeBrusk walk in free agency. So there you go.
I think Donnie's looking at the 2015 draft. That's all I'm going to say.
And none of them left. None of them are in a Boston Bruins uniform. One of them is only in the NHL.
That's correct.
And one of them is completely out of hockey.
That's correct.
So interesting stuff. But we will get back to all that.
I want you to get Stevie up here because he's like, I've never seen a guy so stretched and so many. When you talk to him, our viewers and listeners are going to understand it's not just hockey here.
No.
This is an amazing job.
As you were saying about Sam Kennedy, he's wearing a lot of hats.
He's
here.
a Sam Kennedy of
the Belfast Giants. And he is. And
so
he's also a former Boston University Terrier, too.
Yeah, and he had
who
guys
played
like
with a
Aruzzi,
man. He played with a guy I graduated with. Yep. My career. Well, let's get Stevie up right now, and then we're going to bring up.
Hey,
Coach Sheen's going to come up right after that.
But hold on.
Oh, geez. The Lord Mayor's here again.
The Lord Mayor's back. Here's what I want to say. How many guys in this room actually got a chance to play for the legendary Jack Parker? Only one that I know.
Only one right now.
Get up.
Steve Thornton joining us here on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network. Stevie, good to see you. It's been great catching up with you.
Great to see you.
We had you on the show, I think, last year when we found out we were going to be doing some stuff with the Friendship Fourth. I recall Sarah Stanton set that up, and now here we are in person at the Heart Bar in Belfast. And, as Pierre was just saying, it's been amazing looking at everything you do here, Steve, for this team and everything you guys got going on. And I don't think people understand the buzz that is around this team in Belfast and how hockey is growing here.
I think that's why we wanted to have this tournament. It's because we recruit a lot of these players, like the NCAA players. We've got a lot of guys that have done their masters in Belfast. We want to show them what we have. An incredible venue, the city's unbelievable. The people are so friendly, and it's a great business. Like,
Yeah.
it's a great business we have there.
And I think, one of the topics we discussed off air, and Pierre and I have mentioned on air too, is, with this whole NCAA and CHL agreement coming about now, and it's already out in full force. I mean, you just saw 4 players from juniors commit to Hockey East schools. 4 Hockey East teams got junior plays. But there's going to be players that maybe their trajectory gets changed a bit, or their path that they thought they were going to take maybe to the NHL or the AHL, what have you, has changed. You guys all of a sudden have an opportunity to go in and show them what you can do over here and what you can provide for them.
Exactly, especially if they see it.
Once
they see the building.
And I can vouch for you. It is amazing. That arena is beautiful.
Yeah, we think it's it's an AHL quality arena that's been very well taken care of. And with us being able to offer like that master's degree to players, it's incredible to set them up for their life after hockey.
And I saw they don't have a long drive to the rink, right? They're staying right there in the condos next to the arena.
30 seconds away. So they have a great life.
It's amazing.
We look at it like a campus. Like we look at the NCAA as the best practice for us. It is the best setup that I've ever had when my time at BU. Like, they take care of everything. They take away the excuses not to have success. They give you all the 1% all over the place. And we essentially copy that model. So we give them an education. They live right at the venue. We've got a great locker room, a great arena. The fans are hardcore.
Yeah.
They're a big deal in the city. And because of that, like, it's such a small world, the hockey community, and it spreads. When you get them here, when you get a lot of the teams and the players here, it just helps us like long.
Oh, it was amazing. It was like a big college hockey reunion at the rink today, watching all the different practices. We saw Joe Bertagna come in, just players, guys like that. But it was great. And then, you and I are up there. You're showing us the beautiful suites in the arena. And you let me know that you used to play with a fellow I graduated high school with, the San Jose Sharks GM, Mike Greer, and also a friend of mine, Chris O'Sullivan, who's now a scout for the New York Islanders. And I told Sully, you better be watching. So Sully, shout out to you. Got one of your old line mates here.
That's it. That was for 2 years. That was
at BU.
That was the BU line. I was center, Gruzy was right wing, and Sully was left. I actually lived with Sully. So,
oh boy, lucky you.
It was unbelievable. I've got some great stories that I probably can't share on this. He was an absolute beauty, amazing family, amazing person.
Yeah,
and it was the best 4 years of my life.
Yeah,
for sure, playing at BU, and that line is probably the best line I've ever played on. And Mike Greer coming in as a walk-on too, incredible what he did over his career. He was. You could see what he had his first year. Yeah, the work he put in after that freshman summer to turn into the beast he was, and he was just. He absolutely killed people.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the game was different back then. He killed people.
Yeah.
So it was a safe place to play.
And he had a lengthy career too. He had some good playoff runs with the Oilers here, like first and second round. Yeah.
Yeah, and he played a lot, and he was a leader, obviously. The position he's landed in now was no fluke, man.
Yeah.
He was just such a good person. He is such a good person. And he's obviously got a great.
And obviously his dad, who used to be the Patriots GM at the time,
in and around that
Texans.
business for a while. So he knew the business of the game.
Yeah.
And he was just an analytical thinker. Like, he was like just a good person. It's great to see good people do well. And he was one of them.
So I don't know if he'll mind me telling, but we had, when we were at St. Sebastian's, I mean, this is back in the day, we used to have priests and nuns for teachers.
Really?
Oh yeah. And we were borderline at that point, when they used to take the rulers and I mean, wasn't that bad, but we had this one nun, and God bless her, she's passed, Sister Pat. Yeah. She was strict. And I fell in her doghouse, and
I can't believe that.
And Grizzy would just kind of sit there and laugh and be like, "Oh, Murph's in the doghouse again," and stuff. So it was good times. But I'm so happy for what's happened with him, and of course for Sully as well. But back to the Belfast Giants and the Friendship Four here. How great a success has this turned into compared to? I know obviously you have high hopes when you start it and you get on board, but did you ever envision it becoming what it's become?
Robert told you the story how it started last year with Marty Walsh coming over and telling the Bean Pot is coming to Belfast, and that was probably the birth of the tournament.
The Bell Pot now.
Yeah, and I remember being in the Parkman House in Boston, and we were pitching to like these universities about coming across. And when you say it out loud at the time, there's never been an international hockey tournament like this before. Like, it was a big ask. Yeah. And so I left that building thinking, oh my God, how are we going to do this? Because we had a bit of life from it, and I remember I was with Shane Johnson, who's a BU grad as well, like after we got the green light to do it. And this is when Ralph Cox was introduced to us. I think he was introduced to see if these guys are real. Like, Belfast, is this going to happen in Belfast?
Right.
So he was monitoring us, and Shane and I put quite a lot of work into like a tournament plan. So we probably had 2 or 3 days that we had spent on creating this plan of the tournament. It was like 3 or 4 pages. And the day before we were going to present it to Joe Bertagna, Steve Agwell, Joe sent us across like the NCAA Frozen Four Bible, which was 100 pages.
Yeah.
And so it made us realize, oh my God, like we're in one here.
This is a project.
Yeah. So now
you did it.
We ended up doing it, and we're so grateful to be in the position we're in right now, where we have teams lined up to 2030.
Right.
Incredible institutions.
I mean, look at the schools you have right now: Merrimack, Boston University, Harvard, Notre Dame, who we're going to be joined by in a couple of minutes here.
Yeah.
You know, and then look, I'm telling you, I'm a big Notre Dame fan, big Notre Dame football fan, but to see this hockey team over here with, I got to say, no offense to the other teams, they do have the coolest uniforms here.
They're pretty darn cool.
They're amazing.
The jersey they made for this tournament is.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we can get to the bottom of it, whoever created it, but it is beautiful. Like when they had a great. They were one of the ones I think that did the first tweet to promote it to
They did. The way they did that too. It was
going into the pub and
it was
everything with the Guinnesses.
Yeah,
it was brilliant. I highly suggest check it out on their Twitter page. But just to have prestigious hockey schools like that come over.
I mean, the tournament has gone mainstream now. Like our goal, like you say these things out loud. We wanted to make this the biggest tournament in NCAA. Apart from the Frozen Four. We wanted to be able to pull from all of the conferences, and in 10 years, I think we're getting there because like the demand to get into the tournament is huge. We're getting some great teams here, and it's just so much more than just a tournament. You know, they come for a week and they bond. They go on these
absolutely on these tours and everything.
And this is the life you don't get as a college athlete. Like when I was at BU, you were lucky to get a Saturday night out.
Right.
You had to get two wins on the weekend, and you were lucky to get that. You never had a spring break.
No.
You never got to go anywhere. You never
especially
really got
in the middle of the season.
You're a full-on athlete robot.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Like I loved that lifestyle. But like this is like their spring break. This is the stamp in their passport. This is their education. So we're so proud of that.
And you know, it was fun when we were in Dublin for the first day at the Harry Lemon, which was a great place. Shout out to Michael, the manager there and the marketer. You know, a couple of Notre Dame players came in, some of the Harvard players, and you know, they're sitting there and they're just relaxed. They're shooting the breeze, talking hockey with us. And like one of them looks at me, he's like, I can't do this at home, especially now with the advent of social media and cameras on all the phones. And then you're in a bar, you get some idiots sometimes that can come up to you and they're like, we're just here chilling, hanging out and bonding as a team.
And this is it. Like this is the ingredient that coaches and general managers look for all the time. So at the beginning of the season, we're looking for those things, like the 1% that are the team bonding ingredients.
Right.
And we think we offer this in spades. You know, like when you come to a place like this and you get to experience this,
and it's so much culture and history.
And a lot of the colleges that have come across here in the past, they've gone on winning runs as a result of that. So we like to take credit for these things.
Teddy Donato's in the house, fresh off the golf course. Listen, Steve, always a pleasure, my friend. It's been great seeing you.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'm gonna bring in associate coach in Notre Dame hockey here right now, Brock Sheahan, joining us here on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network. I don't know, maybe I'll tell him my cheesy Notre Dame joke, but we'll try it. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Great.
Jimmy Murphy, nice to meet you. How's the trip going?
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Easy. Actually.
Is this your first time over?
Yeah, first time over here.
In Ireland altogether?
In Ireland altogether. Then the other parts of Europe myself. This is pretty cool. My grandfather was Irish, straight off the boat. The last name like Sheahan. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is great. I'm Jimmy Patrick Murphy, and I've never been to Ireland, so this is pretty much a bucket list trip. But it's cool, and I have an uncle who spent a lot of time here, and just to kind of see things that they knew or they felt way back and see the roots of your family is pretty cool. But as we were just saying, and we've harped on this a lot, no pun intended, that we are in the heart, or maybe so, but we've harped on this a lot that for some reason, in the last couple of years, some teams that have come over here, Northeastern being one of them last year, they all of a sudden their season's sort of like meddling, they're up and down, maybe 500, and then they come back and they go on a run and they turn their season around because they say, look, we got away from, as we were just saying with Steve, we got away from the madness, we bonded as a team. Are you seeing that right now? And are you starting to experience sort of, stuff maybe you can't always do at home?
Yeah, our guys are spending a ton of time together. I think it's a really good break for them. It's been a tough stretch for us. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan State, and that Big Ten schedule can be daunting at times.
You guys just had a grind too.
We did.
Michigan State, and Minnesota, right?
We went Wisconsin, Michigan State, Minnesota. And we played some okay hockey, but we haven't been getting the results. And I think it's a great time for guys to step back and reset is something that we've talked to them about. And I feel like we've been chasing wins instead of focusing on what you need to do every day. And people talk about process and whatnot, but really just take a breath, remember how lucky we are to get to play the game every day, work to get better, enjoy this amazing city, amazing country, just this amazing trip, and relax a little bit and be excited to play some hockey this weekend.
I know a lot of the teams are doing a lot of tours around here. What are some of the sites you've been able to see?
Yeah, we just did the Titanic Museum.
Oh, cool.
It was unbelievable.
Really?
That was really cool. We did the jailhouse tour there. Yesterday, I thought that was pretty cool.
Did you see the Peace Wall?
We saw the Peace Wall.
Oh, wow.
We did.
I gotta
a
get
city
over there.
tour. That was amazing.
Yeah,
that was actually extremely impactful. Just to get the history of the city and how far it's come and where it's at and why, what makes Belfast what it is.
Right.
It's been pretty impactful for our guys to see, and it's been an unbelievable trip so far.
So you were saying you had family from Ireland. What part of Ireland were they
I
from?
don't know. I do
Okay.
not know. My grandfather passed away before I ever got to meet him.
Sorry.
And my dad doesn't really know.
Okay.
But I got to figure that out. I know my other side, my mom's side, my grandfather's Scottish, and we have like the whole.
Oh wow! See,
so
Scottish and Irish.
we have like the whole printout of the whole family tree on that side. So we got some work to do on the other side.
Now tell for people out there that might not be familiar with you, how did you get your hockey going? Like, where'd you start?
Yeah, well, I'm from Lethbridge, Alberta. I grew up. I grew up there. Played in the Alberta Junior League and the BCHL, and I played at Notre Dame for 4 years, and then played in the minors for 5-6 years, and decided to stay in coaching. Came back to my alma mater, Notre Dame, as a volunteer coach.
Nice.
11 years ago now, and then
under the coach you played for.
Under the coach I played for,
Jeff
and then,
Jackson.
and the coach that recruited me, and Andy Slaggert, and then
who we had on in Dublin. Yeah.
Coached at Holy Cross. College of the Holy Cross for 4 years, and then the coach of Chicago Steel, was the head coach there for 3 years, and then was a head coach in the American League on contract with Carolina, and got the opportunity, asked to come back as associate coach. It was announced last year this summer that I'll be the next head coach after coaches last year. This year,
congratulations!
So it's pretty exciting time for myself, my family, and the program. Coaches last year is his 20th year at Notre Dame. The impact he's had on our program is amazing. There's no one has done anything like that for the program, and Notre Dame hockey is where it's at because of what he's done and the staff. Paul Pooley and Andy Slaggert, who coached me, and I'm really excited to finish this year the right way for him, and then get going when my tenure starts.
Well, you're coming in at an interesting time in college hockey, eh? Like the landscape is changing rapidly.
The landscape is changing, but I think that's what makes it so exciting. I haven't been in college hockey for years, right? So I'm more open to seeing what it looks like in the future, and if you don't change, you die, right? So we got to be ready to adjust. We got to be ready to do things a little bit differently. And the one thing I do know is the University of Notre Dame is the most amazing place. Yeah, the most amazing place.
That's another place on my bucket list, by the way.
Oh, you need to get there.
Yeah.
Not only for a hockey game, but
I might be ringing you up for some favors sometime, right?
Get and get you on campus. Like the minute you walk on campus, it's just a different place. It's so special. The people make it special.
It's almost like its own little world.
It's its own world, and the hockey program has done some amazing things, and I think that we're going to build. I know we're going to build on the foundation that Coach Jackson has set. I'm just excited to see what we can do in the future.
And when do you guys go back?
We go back Sunday.
Okay, so you're going to stay that night after the last games. Yeah, gotcha.
We're back Sunday.
All right, well, safe travels. Good luck in the tournament.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you over at the rink, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, there's Coach Brock Sheahan joining us, soon to be the new head coach of Notre Dame hockey there. And as we said, coming in an exciting time right now. Pierre is working right now. But listen, we appreciate them coming on here. We're at the Harp Bar. So if you are here in Belfast for the Friendship 4, come on down. This place is amazing, as we told you.
See you later.
It's an amazing show, an amazing bar.
No,
sorry,
Scott,
just getting a
yet.
message
Coach
here from our
Borek
studio.
You're coming in soon, Coach. You're coming in.
All right, there we go. We got Coach Borek in, who was on our show a couple weeks ago, and as I said, told some great stories.
The compliments about his appearance on our show
There
are
is
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, we had some great stories here. Speaking of compliments, and I don't mean to sidetrack a little, but I want to give this a shout out. As I told you, Pierre, and I want to read this, and it's really meant a lot to us. Our good friend Ron LaRoque, who's always commenting in the comment section, asking great questions.
Winnipeg. Where's he from?
He's from the Saskatchewan. Yep. So anyhow, I'll read you the letter he sent here yesterday after the show. He said, "Great show yesterday, Jimmy. I did used to help out with coaching my daughter's community basketball team, but I never coached hockey. That's the only coaching experience I have. What an experience for you guys over in Ireland. I hope I can make it there someday. But this is what got me, and this is great." He says, "I want to just reiterate what a fine job you and Pierre are doing on the show. You both make people feel like they are part of the show, and you don't belittle fans who what might be a bad question." So, and by the way, he said, "I don't know how Pierre remembers everything, but he was pretty close on where I reside. He said Winnipeg, but it's Saskatoon. It's only 10 hours from there." Laugh. And he said, "I'd say the hotel he would have stayed at would have probably been the Bessborough." Do you know
100%,
that?
the Sheahan
There it
and
is.
Bessborough.
Along the river. Beautiful old
100%.
hotel, which they say is now haunted.
100%.
All right.
That's where I used
There
to
you
stay.
go.
I didn't want to say the name, but Ron, thank you.
All right.
Bessborough's
So
where I used to stay.
thanks to Ron for that. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Great
I know,
stuff.
Yeah.
And hey, how about that? We just got the future head coach of Notre Dame hockey on.
No,
And
you got it.
yeah.
I
Okay.
had
All
nothing to
right.
do with it.
No.
Take credit where credit is
All right.
due.
Thank you, sir.
did it.
Thank you,
did it.
sir. And as
I'm
we
just
said,
trying to be
coming
the
in at this,
greeter. I'm
yeah,
the greeter.
you
here.
are a greeter. You're a great
This
host.
is going to be my next job.
You're letting Garth enjoy himself today.
Garth is relaxing.
Good for him.
I'm greeting all the celebrities that come in.
I
It's
love
like,
it.
If people could see, we can't turn the camera around because it's too complicated.
Yes.
This is like getting to be a who's who of hockey people almost all the time.
It is. And
And it's kind of neat.
what's great is there's so much alumni here too from these
Well, they're
schools.
coming. Wait till
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what's great, and the families over here, as we were saying there. But pretty cool. As I was just talking to Coach Sheahan there, he's coming in at an interesting time right now, and he seems ready. He is excited to tackle this opportunity with the whole advent of the CHL and NCAA
Yeah, but we
agreement.
watched them practice today, and very seldom do I see assistants have as demonstrative a personality during the practice
Mhm.
as he had. And so what I want to do, salute Jeff Jackson,
Mhm.
the coach.
Right, who was in his last
He was
season.
in his
right?
last
Yep.
season, and Jeff's kind of handing the reins over.
Yeah.
And you can see it's progressively getting more and more about Coach Sheahan
Which
and
has to mean a lot to Coach Sheahan. Yeah,
and the players.
yeah.
So when you're a recruit,
You know that voice
this
now.
is going to
Yeah,
be our guy.
yeah.
So I'm not coming into a situation where I don't know who the coach is going to be. And the guy that I think deserves a lot of credit on that is Pete Bavakwa.
Uh-huh.
I worked for Mr. Bavakwa at NBC Sports. He was the head of NBC Sports. He's now the athletic director at Notre Dame. And I've known Pete a long time, and I respect him a ton. And I think Notre Dame sports are obviously very strong.
Yes.
Football in
We were talking about what a
particular.
magical place
And
it
I
is.
think it's a special place.
Yeah.
And all you have to do one time,
And I will there.
walk to the grotto
Yep.
on Notre Dame's campus, and you'll
Okay.
know what I'm talking about.
Well, I just promised Coach Sheahan that I am coming out there soon, so we're gonna do it. Maybe you and I will have to do a eye test broadcast
Okay.
from South Bend, my
One
friend.
thing, no, you're going to take us a little step back. I'm trying to get Jimmy. I love his enthusiasm. We're just going to slowly build.
Gradual.
Slowly
We
build.
are, but we are building, and we're
Yes, it
enjoying
is.
every
You're-
second
you're
of
a
it.
big part of it.
And we're here in
A
Belfast.
huge part of it. And we wouldn't be here if you weren't so passionate about coming here. Now, I'm going to get Scott Borek on. I'm heading out.
All
Not
right.
out. I mean, I'll be
All right.
back.
And then we'll talk some
We
NHL.
got to talk some NHL.
And we have a great Q&A
It's
coming
really-
up, as I can
It's really
see.
important. We have to talk
Yeah,
some
because
NHL.
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot, and
There's something I know that's in a thorn in your side right
bothering
now.
me.
Yeah,
Bothering me. I don't want to really. You can ask me that. Maybe
I
get
will.
it out of me.
yeah. Not right now.
No, not right
Not
now.
right now.
No, we're gonna. Coach Borek, we need you.
Come
we're gonna
on
go
down.
from one follically impaired
How you
person
doing?
to the
Good
next.
to see you. Come on in right here. Hey, I'll be there soon, guys.
You know what's amazing? He's a Dartmouth undergrad. Just so you understand, you would never know. Just how robust he is. He's robust.
I hope you say that for a good thing.
I do, Coach. I do.
It
My
just-
daughter's a Dartmouth.
I know.
I'm getting word from our producers. Stay close to the mic because it's
Okay,
not
I'm
picking
sorry.
us up. No worries. So, Coach, you here? What does it feel like to be here?
It feels great. It's great to get back to Belfast. You know,
Yeah.
to have our team here. It's funny. I have a weird sense of just proud of our group. You know, I love the way we've handled it. I love the way we've approached it. The people working with us have done an unbelievable job. They give us a lot of history.
Mhm.
It's been great. Our players are having a great time.
Yeah, as we've been, reiterating, it's such a, and we spoke about this when you came on the eye test a few weeks back, the bonding opportunity here and these tours that you're able to do. And like I saw though, and I just said this to Coach Sheahan, being able to just sort of kick back and not worry about fans or people coming up to you with cell phones and cameras and social media and all, you're just with your team. And I think that's important to have in the middle of your season.
It's not even the middle. It's early enough that you're still building that anyway. So it's even more important. Now, I did tell you I worked at Merrimack, right?
Yes.
Because there's not a lot of social media chasing us around. Hopefully they will be at the end of the season, but they don't come naturally.
Yeah.
Obviously, the 3 other teams here, they probably do a little bit more. But, no, it's been a great experience. I think the opportunity to share something outside of the game with your players just makes you a better coach.
Yeah.
And so that's been something I've really valued.
Yeah. And one thing I remember we spoke about when you were on the eye test a few weeks back was just a lot of these kids, these players, they're really too young to understand what has been going on here for so many years and what this city has been through and how far they've come. I'm sure have you been able to kind of convey that to them, and have they been able to sort of sense it and feel it?
100%. We've Kieran Cullen, who did our organization, has done an unbelievable job with our schedule, and it's really timed out well. We were at Croke Park in Dublin, and then we came up into the Gaelic games experience, and our guys got to play a little bit.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then today, got the opportunity to do the city tour, which I'd never done before. We stopped at the Peace Wall, and you could have heard a pin drop from our players. No one said a word. You know, it's just because you appreciate.
You can feel it.
You can feel the history there, and reverently. You're not excited about it.
No.
It's very much a respectful, somber. And then when we went to the Titanic Museum, it was the same way. You start going through and how many people lost their lives and the suffering that went on through that.
And too, like just the optimism they had before they set sail. I know it's tragic, but I know what you said. I mean, remember, I haven't been. I'm going to go over to Peace Wall tomorrow with some friends from the Giants. But I remember my dad, who was a Vietnam vet, took me to the wall in Washington, D.C., where all the names are. And, he's pointing out people that he lost, friends he lost. And it is, you just see that, and it makes you appreciate everything you have,
100%.
And I think that's amazing. And it's great for kids that age and players that age to have that. So, but talk about the tournament coming up. You guys got to practice, hit the ice. What's it been like playing over there at the SSE Arena?
Well, as we talked about the last time I was on the show, the race's a little big for us. But it's been fun. It's been really good. First of all, the rink staff's unbelievable.
Oh my God.
They make you feel incredibly well.
You each get a liaison, right?
Yeah. And they just make it easy. Which I wish we did at every rink we went to. So that's been fabulous. The staff from the Giants has been really good. It's been fun for me to see some guys, Bobo Carpenter and Scotty Conway, who I knew from most of their lives in Bobo's case. But it's been fun in that regard.
For those who don't know, Bobo Carpenter is the son of Bobby Carpenter, one of the greatest American hockey players ever, one of the best from Massachusetts. So
we played together. He and I were teammates
at St.
John's.
Wow.
And then we had played together in youth hockey. So we knew each other our whole young lives.
Didn't they be dealing him when he was coming out in Sports Illustrated?
He was the I still have it in my wall. He's can't miss kid.
Yeah, that's right.
It's funny because I said to his son Bobo, Bobby's in such a great place right now at 58, 59 years old. At 18, he lost all of that because he went to play with men, and you lose some growth in that.
For sure.
He's in such a great place. I saw him recently, and he looks great. His hands are beat up from all the face-offs he's taken, but it was really fun to see. And so seeing Bobo today was nice. He loves it here. Scotty Conway I have not seen yet, but I hope to. And he came with Providence and the team I was with then. And it's funny how many players play in this tournament and end up on the Giants in the future.
I know, right?
That's a testament to the tournament and to the community. So it's been fun.
And to some of the players, I'm guessing, before they came over or before this was established that you were coming, probably didn't even know about what's going on over here with hockey and everything and how it's built up.
Yeah, I think if I said to them, hey, you should go play in Belfast, they'd ask me what sport, They didn't understand that it's actually a very strong hockey community. But they sense that in that rink. There's a lot of history in the rafters.
Theo Fleury.
Incredible. A couple of guys from Boston, you look up in the rafters, you learn your history in the rafters.
Steve Thornton, former BU player, is there now.
Yeah, we don't like to talk about BU, but no, but Steve, it's all good stuff, and unfortunately they had to come over with us, but it's a lot of opportunity here, and my biggest goal being here, obviously the growth you talked about, our team growing as a group, but was just to come in and leave here closer than we came here. And I think that's happening as we speak.
Right, and the games start on Friday, so we wish you good luck, my friend.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. We're gonna need
Merrimack.
some.
All right. Have a pint over there if you can, my friend.
If I can.
Yeah, if you can. We won't tell anyone. Cheers. Head coach Scotty Borek joining us here from Merrimack College. They will be playing on Friday here in the Friendship Floor. He's a character. He really is. And this is what you're seeing here, guys. You're not here, and I'm just going to tell you, it's like a hockey reunion, a lot of college hockey reunion. As he said, a lot of alumni, former pro players are here. So this has been a great experience for Pierre and I. Really excited. We got one more show here. We're going to be here again tomorrow. I know over there, I know it's Thanksgiving Eve in the States, and Thanksgiving is tomorrow. So happy Thanksgiving to all our American viewers. And I realize that you're going to be pretty busy there. But, look, we're going to be on at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, 3 p.m. here. So if you get up, you kind of shake off the cobwebs from a fun Thanksgiving Eve, watching all the NHL hockey, tune in with us with your breakfast. And we'll be here, Pierre and I, talking hockey tomorrow.
I'm back.
Looking at all the games that happened tonight. But let's get to those games right now and some other NHL
Can I
topics.
just interrupt you?
Yeah, go ahead.
What a great job you did with Scott Borek.
Thank you.
What an awesome human being he is.
Oh, he's awesome. And how about this? I didn't even realize that Bobby Carpenter's son was here until you introduced me today.
Night. I introduced you to Bobo last night.
Yeah.
They're over in Scotland right now. They're playing 2 games this weekend over in Scotland. And I think they're working out of, I could be wrong, I think they're working out of Glasgow. So they're going to stay in Glasgow.
For the tournament's here, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to play 2 games over there and then come back. Scott Borek's an awesome man.
He is.
I broke into coaching with him, different schools, but we used to recruit against each other all the time, and we used to travel together. There was a little pack.
I remember you saying that when we had him on before.
Jimmy Madigan was part of the pack. Scotty Borek was part of the pack. Donnie Vaughn was part of the pack. There were a bunch of us. We would travel because we didn't get a lot of money back then, and you could go out together and share rooms or whatever.
Right.
So I used to be on the road with Scotty a lot, and we had a lot of good times.
Remember when we were talking to him on the last time we had him on about how it was taboo for college coaches to go into the juniors and look at the players, right? And you warned him. You said, "Don't wear that jacket in there. Do not wear that jacket in that rink."
I was an obstinate Irishman, and I went in and started a lot of stupid stuff.
Found out.
That was a long time ago. I was a little bigger and a little stronger, but yeah. Some of those decisions were not smart.
Hey, you know what? You live and learn, Pierre. And we've
we
all
did.
done
We
plenty
all,
of that.
We all did. I think back on it now, we were all fighting for great players. It wasn't because we were chasing bad players. We were chasing great players. And so you can understand people want to defend their turf.
Yeah.
And I was, as you know, Jimmy, I'm pretty proactive.
Yep.
And so that's never going to change. I think I learned that from my mom.
Shout out to Sally. Listen, speaking of competing for players or making big decisions or competing for stories, there's something that's starting to kind of percolate in the NHL right now, Pierre, that you and I were kind of talking about before. And it's just, as a journalist, I'm not liking it, but I'll let you expand on that right now.
I think you're talking about people inventing information.
Yes.
It's got to stop. All you guys that are out there working, stop.
Yeah.
Just you don't have to be first. Just be right. Just be right.
Yeah.
I don't know when this all started. I get
clicks. That's what everyone wants.
World, Jimmy.
I know you know.
That's your world. All I know is this. There are a lot of really good journalists out there. Guys are Michael Farber's as good as there was. Eric Duhatschek as good as there was. My former partner and great friend Bob McKenzie as good as there was. I can go down the line. There's so many really good ones. They didn't create drama, Jimmy.
No.
They only reported the news.
And what is with the thing that, like, we had an instance where we found out about something today, and it's people reporting on simply a GM doing his job. Like, oh, well, this guy's making a lot of calls. Well, it's like, no bleep. Of course he's making a lot of calls. That's his job. But how is this a quote unquote scoop or breaking news when a GM's simply doing his job?
Well, the other part too is a lot of them, if they don't get the scoop, they hit to hurt.
Yeah.
They hit to hurt. So you didn't tell me what I wanted to hear, so I'm going to let you have it when you're struggling.
Right.
And that's part of it too. I don't know how to fix it because I don't work in that world.
Yeah.
I've never tried to be an insider. I never will be an insider because I've been inside.
Yeah.
So I know what it is.
Yeah.
And I think hockey's in such a good place. Look at what we're experiencing here.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
10 years ago,
this is not happening.
No way.
I know.
And Coach Borek, Coach Sheahan, Teddy Donato, it doesn't, Coach Pandolfo.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who they are. They care about selling the game. They brought their teams, 5,000, 4,000 miles away to come here to grow the sport. There's no drama.
No.
It's a history lesson.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're making the game better.
They are.
They're making a society better. Robert Fitzpatrick's making a society better,
gosh.
utilizing hockey.
Yeah.
Why doesn't somebody put that in a clip?
Look, I am stunned, and I offered my services writing-wise to different publications, and nobody bit. I mean, I can't believe that there's not one Boston news station here right now covering this when there's so many schools from the area.
Well, 3.
There's 3.
And Notre Dame. Some people
Notre Dame. And there's so
some
many
people in Boston say they're Boston.
Yeah,
school too,
yeah, exactly.
They're not.
It's stunning.
It is, but I would just say this. The teams that have come here,
Mm-hmm.
we watch practice all day.
Oh, yeah.
We were at the rink. I made them get out of bed early.
I was in bed early, though.
You were. You went
Yeah.
to bed early.
Yeah.
We had room check last night. You went to bed early. And we went to the rink early. Jimmy's on NHL time
Yep.
now. You're on NHL time. And we spent the day there.
It was great.
And did you see one guy complain?
Nope.
Did you see one player whine?
Nope.
Did
Nope.
you see any coach yell or scream?
No.
Everybody's in their element.
Yeah, it was great. And all the people watching, whether it was ADs or, team GMs like Steve Thornton, what have you, coaches, staff at the rink, everybody there was just enjoying themselves and enjoying hockey.
I just like being at the rink, but talking to some of my former proteges. I don't even know if proteges are right word.
Yeah.
Kids that I've worked with for so
That's
many
what I was
years.
just going to say. Yeah, seeing some of
So I
your
don't
players.
know. Yeah, kids that I trained or worked with, and I'm so proud of them to see them. It's good.
It was great stuff. Well, let's get into some other NHL topics before we get over this Q&A because we are running on time here.
Yeah.
As we said, some big games tonight, Pierre, and I'm going to skip right ahead to the last game on the slate. It's a team we've talked about, but I think it's a big game for both sides. The Ottawa Senators are in San Jose to face the Sharks. You're going to go in right now. It's the night before Thanksgiving. You got a lot of likely.
San Jose's coming off a big win.
San Jose's coming off a big win. Ottawa's been up and down. And, I would think, I know they've had attendance problems in San Jose, but usually around the rink in general, these are sellouts or close to because everybody's home for Thanksgiving. So you likely are going to have a good environment there. It's important for these teams right now to get this game, to get these 2 points or at least 1 point
what's
to
really
set
cool
up
about
to
this?
set the table.
All right, you're going on a soliloquy, so I'm
Yep.
going to cut you short, and I apologize.
Yep.
Macklin Celebrini is all I have to say in San Jose. That's all you need to say. Macklin Celebrini.
Mhm.
Just go watch his last game.
Yep.
Off the charts. Off the charts. Now people are saying, well, we didn't know he could score this well. Watch the eye test. We'll tell you if he
Yep.
can score well
Yep.
or not. He's Jonathan Taves. He's an elite player. Eventually going to be,
Mhm.
I'm not going to say the word, but he's going to be in a high place,
Mhm.
hockey-wise.
Yep.
Okay? Macklin Celebrini scores better than Jonathan Taves. So if you're a fan of the San Jose Sharks, you go watch Macklin Celebrini.
Yeah. Well, I want to watch Brady Tkachuk because after what we spoke about yesterday,
I'm spoiled rotten. I watched him very close for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
and I want to see him as he did up once already, continue to answer the bell and silence the critics. And I like watching that when a player can kind of put the team on his shoulders and answer the bell. I like watching
He
it.
needs to with Stutzler. This is a big thing for Stutzler going out to San Jose. He's got a team he's going to have to produce. Shane Pinto's going to have to produce, and I'm expecting more out of Jake Sanderson.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest problem for Ottawa is going to be not having Artem Zub. He's out for a while now, Jimmy, and he's a tough cat. And for him to be out for a while is not good. Ottawa needs, and we've talked about it off the air and a little bit on the air, Ottawa desperately needs right defensemen.
Yep.
They can say
even
whatever
more
they
so
want.
now with Zubo.
Forget the spin control.
Yep.
They need right defense.
Yep. And now they've got their -1, who is a key guy for them in Zub. The Bruins going backwards in a game earlier in the night, or in Long Island at 7:30 tonight Eastern, playing the Islanders, coming off the first of a back-to-back. This is the tail end. They lost 2-0 to the Vancouver Canucks last night. And Pierre, as Pierre just said, I went to bed early last night, so I was kind of tuning in the beginning of the game, kind of watching people's reactions on social because I couldn't find the game anywhere. And people are like, wow, look at the Bruins are back. They're getting it together. Look at the way they're playing. You can see they've got jump in their game now. Things are going well. It's going to go different now. And then I wake up and see they lost 2-0 and some salt rubbed in the wound with Jake DeBrusk scoring, as you mentioned earlier. And, it's like the sky is falling again. Pierre, I know we said they would get the bump in the first game there against the Red Wings, and they won. But that bump is gone. So where do they go from here now? I mean, that did not look like a team that just got a new coach and was revitalized. That looked like the same old stuff we've seen throughout the season from Boston.
So I'm not going to go negative right now because it takes time for a new coach to
Okay.
implement his ideology too. That being said,
he can't change the roster.
He can't change the roster.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I'm not against the Boston Bruins, and I'm not.
Yeah.
You travel with me all over the world, but I didn't like the way the roster was constructed. I told you that last summer.
Mm-hmm. And it keeps
coach
showing
can't
up.
Fix the roster.
No, he can only coach, and he's a
the
good
players
coach.
that he's given.
Yeah.
I think if there's a team that's going to have to do something here to stimulate quickly, it'll be them.
One player that we kind of had some banter with, talking with people today about the Bruins, that just can't seem to get it going is Charlie McAvoy. And you mentioned something
I'm bullish
great.
on Charlie.
But what did you say about a certain former Bruin that should be working personally with him right
If I were
now?
Donnie Sweeney and Cam Neely, I would get the captain of the teams that they played on, Raymond Bork.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get Raymond into Boston. I know he's in Boston, but I'd get him in there on a daily basis.
Yep.
And I don't want anybody on the coaching staff feeling paranoid about it.
No, nobody should be replaced. We're
No,
just saying this should
it's
be an
not to
extra
replace
mentor.
Anybody.
A consultant,
He's a
so to speak.
consultant, mentor, and he's there to work with all the defensemen, but in particular, Charlie. Because you and I both know what Raymond thinks of Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Raymond thinks the
He
world
said
of
it right on the
Charlie.
eye test
Right
last
on
spring.
our show last spring.
Yep.
And all I can say is I have so much respect for Raymond, the
Mhm.
way he plays. And I was part of the architect's plan of drawing up how to beat the Bruins and Raymond Bork.
Yep.
And it was hard to do,
Right.
but it was harder on Raymond.
Yeah.
And Raymond would tell you. And after the 2 series that I was involved with, that Raymond was
91,
involved,
92.
yeah, I was just like, I would tell you right now, I always respected Raymond, but after those 2 series, I was like, that guy's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. He is.
He's tough.
And, the thing is we know Charlie has it. It's just a matter of how does he use it? How does he get it to that level that everyone knows he can be at, including himself. And that's why you need mentorship. Yeah.
Mentor. That's
Yeah.
all, just mentorship.
Yeah. It's great stuff. All right. Well, listen, this show flew by.
Are we done?
No, we're not done yet. You got to sit here for the Q&A, my
no,
friend.
but I want that. That's why
Okay.
I'm worried. No, I got worried. Listen, the games are way later for us.
Yeah.
So I'm not in a rush to go anywhere. So you
Great.
keep going.
Well,
on
let's
the
get
questions.
right to it. Before we do, we also have to, of course, mention our great sponsor, he's got some new information here, a new read for them. So here we go. Feel the action with Betway and get a free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. That's not bad. So if you lose, you still get money. I like that. Scan the QR code right in front of you. If you're not watching, you can go to the website. Remember, you always got to be 18 plus and bet responsibly. You can link the details section to create an account and redeem your welcome offer. Offer is only available for new customers only. Terms and conditions apply. Offer not available in Ontario. Quickly, I will give you my Murph pick of the day since I'm back in the winning circles. I'm going to give you a little parlay for Thanksgiving Eve right now with all these games. I said, why not combine some of them? I'm liking underdogs tonight. Give me the St. Louis Blues over the New Jersey Devils. Give me the Buffalo Sabres at home. Give me the under 6 because both teams have trouble scoring with the Bruins Islanders on Long Island. And give me the Vegas Golden Knights, who are looking good. Everybody was sleeping on them for some reason in the beginning of the season, except the eye test. They're going to go into Colorado tonight and beat the Colorado Avalanche. That is my parlay and my pick of the day. All right, let's hit this Q&A.
Before you do that, look at that. There are enough people in here.
Place is packing up.
Oh my gosh.
I know that it's only morning there, but it's happy hour here right now. So
the eye test is bringing the heat here.
all right, what do we got for questions here, guys? Ron LaRoque, what's up, Ron? And thank you very much again for that message.
Ron, awesome stuff, man.
Is there any TV or streaming of the tournament?
Yes.
It's Nesson's got it in if you have availability. ESPN Plus is the best one.
If you go online, let's just say, go to Coach Borek's, go to Merrimack College, and then you'll see game being played. Go to international when you're in Canada. You can play, and I think it's $5 US. I think.
Is TSN grabbing it too or no?
They might be. I don't know.
I heard somebody say that.
But Ron, you'll be able to get it. You will be able to get it.
You know what, Ron? Between now and a show tomorrow, when we're back here at the Harp, I'll find out the exact details. I'll let you know.
But you will definitely be able to see it.
You'll be able to watch it. All right, let's go. Next question. Sound the siren. I got your email. I'll get back to you. Question, Pierre and Jimmy, what is the first thing you guys are most thankful for this year beyond the ice? Well, first and foremost, my daughter and my family. But I'd say, other than that, doing this podcast with Pierre McGuire. That would be mine.
My family more than anything else, and doing the podcast and celebrating the growth on the women's and men's side of hockey. Because you know how much that matters to me. And it's kind of like a cause celeb for me now. You know, I was just asked by somebody in the audience, you know, like, why do you do this? And I'm like, because I really care about the growth of hockey. And it's mattered to me for a long time. And the fact that we're here, Jimmy, you were so proactive on it means a lot to me. So I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for the growth of hockey, and I'm thankful for people that care about hockey.
I'm with you on that. You know what else is great, Pierre, too? I'm thinking for you. You get to spend a holiday that you weren't necessarily going to spend with your daughter.
Yeah.
She will be with us tomorrow, Justine McGuire, who set up that wonderful show we did at the Harry Lemon. So it'll be great to see Justine again as well on American Thanksgiving.
6 a.m. train tomorrow.
Well, she'll enjoy it. Well, the weather might not be as good as us.
She's taken that train a few times. Yeah, it's good.
All right.
She goes to watch games here.
God bless her. All right, next question. Alex Ivanowski, I've been watching Celebrini and Bedard play this season. I have been so impressed with Celebrini. Alex, are you a mind reader? Because when Pierre was talking about Celebrini, I was comparing Bedard and Celebrini in my head. So good on you asking this question. Do you think Bedard needs to find a way to get stronger in his lower body, like how Crosby is?
So I will say this. Connor's great. I'm just telling you, he's great.
He needs to be on the wing.
But he needs to be on the wing. 100%.
That's the key.
And Macklin he's bigger. He's different. It's just different.
Yep.
It's just different.
All right, next question. Randy Workman, do either of you ever see Crosby in another jersey?
Yeah.
Well, we've touched on this talk. No, I'll put it this way. Do we see it?
Answering.
Do we see it? Honestly, at this point, I say no. Do I think it should happen? As Pierre suggested, maybe it should. Yeah. I think it's gotten at a point that for the sake of him and the sake of the franchise, that might need to happen for the better of everybody. All right, next question.
Thank you for answering that, Jimmy.
You're welcome. Somebody's saying to View from the Bridge, the guys we met from the Belfast Giants podcast. Yes. It was great meeting them.
That was great.
Yeah,
this morning. We met them this morning.
They're saying here TSN has had it in the past, so we will confirm that.
Okay.
All right, Alex Ivanowski, we have talked about Logan Cooley a lot.
Yep.
Do you see Dylan Guenther is starting to become the player he was drafted to be in 2021? What's his ceiling as a player? He seems to have a great shot.
Well,
Big
two
fan.
Totally different. Dylan's a bigger guy, Logan, and not nearly as quick as Logan. One's Canadian, one's American, obviously. I think Gunther's going to be a 35 to 40 goal guy, power forward type player when he gets a little bit more mature physically. Logan's going to be a Pat LaFontaine type player, a little bit like Jack Hughes. I don't know if he'll be as good as Jack, but he's going to be pretty darn close.
Yeah,
pretty darn close.
All
Jack's a heck of a player, by the way.
He is.
All those Hughes brothers are good.
Yep. All right, next question. Brad K, with the trip straddling American Thanksgiving, have you heard of any gatherings the players are having? Yes, Jack, they all have their own Thanksgiving dinners arranged. They'll be getting together, having that family atmosphere. A lot of their parents and relatives or siblings are here, so they'll be able to feel that sentiment from home for sure. All right, next question. Alex Ivanowski again. Kent Johnson, when healthy, has been really good for Columbus this year.
Yep.
If you could pick one current or former NHL player his game resembles, who would it be? That's a good question.
That is good. I'd have to think about that one. Look, Kent's got a lot of speed and a lot of skill.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't always been apparent playing in Columbus. I think part of that's because the team's not super great. I'd have to think about that one. That's a very good question.
All right, we'll get back to that, Alex. And by the way, Columbus, as we thought, they've been sneaky good this year.
Look at, I don't care what you can ask Billy Guerin and let him go. It pained them in Minnesota to let him go. It did. Johnny Hyde's gone in there and done a heck of a job. He's done a great job. But Dean's going to bring the heat. He's going to bring emotion, passion, and he's doing it. That's what he's going to bring.
Yeah. I mean, look, do I think they're going to make the playoffs? No, but they're playing, like he said, passionate hockey right now. So you get the chance to watch them.
They're not an easy out, I'll tell you that.
They're not. And tonight we'll be rocking in Columbus, too. Maybe the cannon will be sounding.
Which is great.
All right, next question. Ron LaRoque. Gerber smashing his stick the other night. Was that frustration with his D? I didn't see it. Did you? No, so we can't answer that, Ron. I apologize. Gerber?
Bring it back up.
Yep.
The question, can you bring that question back up? I don't have my glasses on. What's it say? It
said Gerber smashing his stick the other night. Was that frustration with his D? I'm thinking Martin Gerber. I don't know who he's talking about. I apologize, Ron.
Yeah, me too. I apologize.
Get back to us if you can rephrase it, Ron. Would love to answer it. All right, next question. Randy Workman, which teams do you see that are not in the playoffs make a push to get in? That's a good question.
Detroit. Come on, we just talked about that today.
Yeah. They're going to have to make a move.
They're going to have to do something.
Yeah, they're going to have to make a move. Whether that's behind the bench or a trade, I don't know.
It's been 9 years. I'm not
when you said so, I went and looked at that, Pierre. I didn't realize, too.
We were having breakfast earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about the Wings, and so you pointed out it's been 9 years since they made the playoffs. How long has Little Caesars been around? 9 years. They have not played playoff hockey yet in their new arena. They haven't played a playoff hockey game since the Joe. I did not. I mean, that's astonishing, and that's not good. So something's going to happen there. They do have the potential to make it. I think Ottawa is another team that could be in mix. I'm not so high, and again, we're not trying to down. I want to see them make it, but I'm worried about the Boston Bruins. All right, next question. Ron LaRoque. Yes, for Colorado. Oh, you mean Georgiev? Georgiev, yeah, that's who he's talking about. Yes, they need to do something about that. We've been saying that for a while.
I'm staying with that. They need to do something about that.
It's interesting too, Ron. I'm glad you brought that up because that's one of those teams you just look at and it's like, I don't know. It just seems so obvious from afar what the one particular problem is because they're such a skilled team, and it's just if you upgrade that position. They're a cup contender, in my opinion.
They should be.
I don't think they need like an A goalie. They just need a B. They need a B goalie, and they can compete for the cup. There's that much skill, though.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Brad K. On my honeymoon in Ireland, we went to several pubs looking for traditional Irish music. Instead, at every bar, they played John Denver, Country Roads. How many times have you heard it there so far? I haven't, but it's interesting you bring that up, Brad, because I've been watching, a lot of the NFL games when we're playing overseas here, and the crowds have been singing that. I think it was in Frankfurt and then one in London. So I take it that is a thing in Europe, but we have not heard that yet. We have seen some great traditional Irish sessions.
You were all excited the other day.
Oh, I couldn't believe it.
Down in Dublin.
It's making me think of my dad.
That was good.
Great.
That was cool.
That's what I grew up on.
I liked your emotion. That was good. That was really good. Yeah.
It was good.
It was a good spot.
Good stuff. All right, next question.
Cobblestone was the name of it.
Cobblestone,
yeah.
Which, by the way, I found out was another bar that my good friend Shane McGuire used to frequent. So there you go. All right, next question. Gabriel Lamb. Who is the next coach to be fired? I feel like Lalonde and Brunette will be if things don't change. I don't really want to talk about guys losing their jobs.
And neither am I. So here's what I'll say. There's a lot of pressure, I'm going to say, on 4 guys right now, and I think you've named 2 of the 4. I'm not going to give you the other 2, but I think there's significant pressure on 4 guys in the league right now.
I'm going to say what I would like to see happen, and we just mentioned it with Detroit and Colorado. I'd like to see instead of a GM taking that route to make a shakeup trade, put it on the players. Look what the Rangers did. I know, who knows if any of that stuff's true, but the fact that they named 2 big names got out, it seems like maybe that was an effort to shake up the locker room. But I want to see a GM shake up a locker room. Don't get rid of the coach. It's not always his fault. Let the players know it's on them. That's what I'd like to see. All right, next question. Alex Ivanowski. If Columbus trades I can't say his name because Jurasek. Do they have anyone in the pipeline who could help replace his potential? Matachuk, what's his ceiling as a player? Matejchuk.
He's got huge upside. Huge.
Anyone else?
Christensen's already there. Christensen's a good player. I liked him a lot in the American Hockey League. He's a good offensive player. He is good. You know, I don't think enough has been said about Werenski. And quite frankly, I don't like to speculate on players being traded away, but I can just say, and I'm not saying they're trading them, Provorov's name's all over the place.
He is. I know.
His name's all over.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're trading him, but I'm just telling you his name's all over. And I'm in Ireland, and I know that.
I'm pumped you brought up Werenski, though, because he is one of the most underrated stories, I think, in the NHL right now. And obviously, like we say, they're in Columbus, but he's having one of his best seasons ever, if not the best, Pierre.
He and Josh Morrissey have both been so good for their respective teams, one in Columbus and one obviously up in Winnipeg, and both of them been really,
I gotta,
and Rasmus Anderson.
And I got to say, our good friend Billy Guerin, the GM of Team USA for the Four Nations, has got to be seriously considering putting Werenski on that team. I mean, if he's not on there, something's wrong.
No, but I'd be surprised if he's not. But there might be other guys, but I'd be surprised.
Yeah. All right, next question. GB. Say a guy is on the fourth line as a punishment and then play him on all the first power plays. Doesn't that send a bad message to the rest of the team?
No, because you need a specialist forward. Sometimes Corey Perry can be a fourth-line player, but he can be a first-line power play guy.
Yep.
In his prime in particular. So, no, I don't agree with that at all. Look, the number one thing people need to understand, and it drives me nuts, because a lot of these people are formulating opinions from never having earned a paycheck from working in hockey. Never number your lines. Because one night your third line could be your first line, and your first line could be your fourth line.
Yeah.
Never number your lines. You don't know how guys are going to play.
No.
You know, I've seen some pretty good players get sat
I
down.
think you'll know what I'm talking about, Pierre, when I say this. There was a fourth line that played here in Belfast in 2010.
Well,
that about 8 months later,
the Merlot line.
8 months later, in my opinion, was the best line in the Boston Bruins in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final.
I did Game 7, and I can tell you, a lot of my friends played on that Boston Bruins team, and I can tell you, without a doubt, they do not win Game 7 without Danny Paillet, without Sean Thornton, without Gregory Campbell.
Yep.
No chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
So that's what Pierre's getting to. I mean, there shouldn't be labels. It just, each game manifests its own number one line. All right, next question. We got any more? I think that might be it. That's all, folks. That's all.
Is it?
We're past 5 o'clock our time here, Pierre.
I'm worried about that.
Yeah.
You sure we don't have any more?
We got no more. Unfortunately, that's
what
all right.
What do you want to say today to wrap up the show?
Well, I do, kind of on a somber note, I want to give a shout out to the Batten family, and specifically my good friend Jay Batten. Lost his friend Dave. He was a great hockey fan, played for the Windsor Spitfires at one time, and also big Red Wings fan. So hopefully for them, the Red Wings turn around. But to the Battens, we're thinking of you.
I would like to say to all my former teammates, we lost 3 real good teammates. Thinking of all of you and their families. And the other thing is the Monty family in Montreal. I'm thinking of you at this time. Mrs. Monty passed away. It's my brother-in-law's mother, and my sister-in-law's obviously mother-in-law. And she was a spectacular woman. She did a lot of really good stuff in the Montreal community. And she'll be put to rest tomorrow. So we're
tough time of year for that. Tough time. Yep. So to them and anyone else out there too who's going through the same thing, we're sending our love to you. Listen, we're sending our love to everyone here in Belfast as well, and to the Heart Bar.
How about
packing up? We got some great hockey people who showed up today. Thanks to Notre Dame for bringing down Coach Sheahan. I don't know. We're allowed to say that. All right. Okay. Yeah, he's enjoying his Guinness. Coach Bork's here still having a good time. And we want to thank the staff here at the Heart Bar. We got to meet Rory's dad, Ronan.
Ronan was awesome.
Yeah.
And I said to him,
we're going to know the whole family by the end of the week.
So Rory introduced himself to Jimmy and I when we came in and
yesterday.
The show yesterday. I couldn't believe how good he was.
Yeah, 23 years old.
23 years old.
Rock star.
He works for Coca-Cola when he's not working here. And I went to the father today and I said, you know, Ronan, they always tell you when your children do bad things. They never tell you when your children do good things. I said, so I just want you to know your son's a rock star at what he does. And it was almost like he was ready to break down. It was really cool. It was really good.
That's a good point, though, Pierre.
Yeah,
it is a good point.
I know. See, I was a kid that always my
mother. You know, I just had
a
Zoom meeting right before I left with some of my daughter's teachers. Yeah. And they told a quick story. They said, look, we just want you to know a lot of times we've caught Maddie helping other students when they can't figure stuff out. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, nobody asked her to do that. She just does it. So it's like, it is true. You don't hear that enough. Like,
No, I think
kids,
that's important.
yeah, that's a great point.
I do. But anyway, so Ronan was great, the bar manager here, and he'd been here a long time.
Yeah. And this has been great. Want to thank the Belfast Giants again.
Oh,
I
gosh.
really want to thank Mr. Fitzpatrick for the tour I got last night. Of
There's only one thing
arena.
I want to see better. You know what it is?
What's that?
I want less water on the ice from the Zamboni at the rink.
Yes, yes.
I'm mad at how heavy the ice was.
Yeah, but as you said, there's a condition here though that they are battling with the water surrounding the rink.
There's too much water, so they got. And I talked, and they're going to put in new systems.
Yep.
But the only tip I'd have is I'm sure there's Zamboni people, less water.
Yeah.
Just a little less water. That's all.
Hey, as long as I'm not having
Everything else is rock
as
star.
long as the
It's
Zamboni
good.
driver's not having a few pops and pulling up the Tim Hortons,
No, they're good on
they're
all
they're
that
all right.
stuff. It's all good. It's just
You know that
little
story.
Less, yes, I do.
All
A
right.
little less water.
Hey, listen, thanks to everyone here. Thanks, of course, to Cara Group Travel, and thanks to the Belfast Giants. Thanks to our friends back in Montreal working the board, specifically Shane. He's Pierre McGuire. I'm Jimmy Murphy. We will be back here for our last show here in Belfast, well, at least for this year, at the Harp, 3 p.m. local time, 9 a.m. back on the East Coast in North America. Until then, happy Thanksgiving to all Americans out there, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.